How's it? Today is Saturday, August 16th. In 6 weeks, I'm going to try to PR. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if I can do that, but originally I was supposed to have 8 weeks to do all of this. That was 2 weeks ago. I caught COVID 2 weeks ago. And so the last 2 weeks were just me getting back to movement, and we're condensing this sort of 8 week thing into 6 weeks. And we'll see where I get to. At the end of September, I'm trying to snatch, ideally, 115. My best was from July. It was 110. I pulled that shit out of my ass real fast. And I was super happy with it. I don't know how close I am to even doing that again right now. But today was work up to kind of like a medium-ish Friday. So we're looking at 90 for snatches, 5 singles, and then clean and jerk were at 115 for 5 1+1s. And I'll be honest with you, both of these were not good. They were really, I don't want to even say they're all over the place. I feel like Wednesday went pretty good, considering how my shoulder was feeling. Tuesday was actually surprisingly good. Monday was really not what we want for my shoulder. And I feel like today was more of the same, where my right shoulder feels very tight. And it feels like I can't quite lock my arm overhead properly. And that kind of doesn't really go away. And I don't realize why it's kind of happening until I get to my front squats, which I actually did today for the first time in forever on a Friday. Here's my first set at 90 for snatch. Honestly, I'm looking at the weights here. They don't look like they're heavy, but they feel very heavy when I'm lifting. And I'm looking at that, and that looks really easy, but I don't recall it being that easy. It feels like my shoulder doesn't want to go into the position that I need it to be in. And so I get kind of I always tell my coach, when I'm having some issues, when things are not necessarily painful or whatever, but might be a little bit achy, I tell him it's sticky, and that's what it really feels like. It feels like my shoulder is just sticky. Oh, there it is. My boy Blake pulled up. Look. Yeah, let's go. Hoop. Big boy lats. Let's go. This was right before my last set, and I was kind of concerned that I was actually going to end up cramping, but this one might have been the best executed snatch I had all day. So that's good. Maybe I should flex more before I lift. I don't know. It's probably not a good idea. Just to be clear. After that, I moved into my clean and jerks. And this is probably where my upper back tightness that I found when I was front squatting was inhibiting me the most. I understand that my shoulder itself is sticky, that's what I said earlier, but my upper back wasn't allowing me to really move my shoulder blades into the right position. Even catching the bar felt really laborious and labored. And from there it's okay, how am I going to save the rest of this lift? Because I still have to do the jerk, right? This is my last warm up here at 100. And I'm okay, how am I going to save this to make the jerk semi okay? And what I was thinking about was how I was lifting on Wednesday. Wednesday, I had a very quick dip, but it allowed me to keep the weight in my hands. And that felt like I was much more in control of how the lifts would go from the point of the drive. So the dip itself is if I don't have the correct tension on the bar or tempo on the dip, then I'll never feel that kind of security in my hands. And I feel like there's a couple of them that I didn't feel that today, but most of them I did feel it. The one thing that was giving me a lot of issues today with my cleans was that I felt incredibly lightheaded on, I think, every single one of them, even at 60. 80, at 80 you can see that when I go for the jerk, I'm oh, I am lightheaded. And right here, look, I'm I'm lightheaded. I'm trying not to move because I remember one time when I was lightheaded, I had like I think they called it a brownout, where it's basically a blackout but not that severe. Like, you know, you kind of like you lose vision and then you stumble a little bit, and then you can like you come to your senses very quickly. Yeah, I was trying my best not to have that happen today. I don't know what that is because I ate quite a bit. I was drinking a lot of fluids. That clean was horrible, by the way. That clean went really far out, and that was easily the worst clean I did today. I felt it really in my upper back. But yeah, like I feel like my nutrition was fine today. Like I ate my overnight oats, which is like 45 grams of protein with like a ton of carbs because I use soy milk and of course oats. So I don't know exactly how many carbs it is. I want to say it's probably like 60 carbs, and then like 12 fat, maybe more than that because I use chia seeds as well. But like that's like a lot of like good nutrition. And then I was also drinking my water throughout the whole lifting and everything. And I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't be lightheaded, especially with the weight like that. Like 115, I can power clean that. Like confidently, I can say that I can power clean that. And I fucking suck at power cleans. So that's like really not a great thing to be experiencing today. But I think when I'm doing these front squats, this is like where I feel the most issues in my upper back. Like if you look at the side angle here, that is an extreme amount of thoracic like flexion, and it doesn't get better on the second set. And if I get a little bit more thoracic extension there, I all the lifts are a lot better. Like even when I'm thinking about my cleans, even my snatches and everything, like oh my god, that looks so disgusting. But yeah, this is something I need to continuously address. I feel like I say this every time something bad happens. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna work on this outside of the outside of the videos and everything. And usually I do, but I I hate that it has to come to me saying that on the video, because if I was more on top of it, none of this would be happening. You know, if I was less lazy, none of this would be happening. So yeah, this doesn't bode well for a 6 week checkpoint, but we'll see what happens. After that, I did some pull-ups with my GHD sit-ups. I think today was, it wasn't the kind of physical showing that I wanted it to be, but I feel like I had a lot of like mental wins because everything felt hard, everything felt difficult, and I felt like I was moving slow. But I came in, I did 16 for 16 of my lifts, so that is a big, big positive for me. Yeah, it's a mental win today. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Shoots.